Oh, check this out, guys. How beautiful is this? Wow. Doesn't get much better than that, man. You find stuff like this right where you live. I live in Missouri. Nothing too special about Missouri. We got one of the most violent cities. We got a big meth problem. And we got a good hockey team, apparently. But other than that, nothing too special. But man, that is very pretty. So, I just want to do a video. You know, I made a previous video about this, but it was really negative and kind of passive aggressive. And I guess at the time, I was really fired up, you know, because in response to another moto vlogger's video, you know, I was just a little triggered, you know. I'm gonna be honest. I was a bit triggered. The other vlogger is DodgeRider. And, you know, he's way bigger than I could probably ever hope to be. I get, like, no views. But I'm not embarrassed about it. You know, I just do this because I like it. But, he made this video. I think it's literally titled, Why Sport Bikes Suck. and basically the whole video is, you know, arguing, essentially, I think the gist of it is he actually got maybe a little upset about maybe some douchebag or someone, you know, said something to him about maybe why naked bikes suck or why sport bikes are way better or something like that. So anyway, let me get my bike and ride. I can talk better while I'm riding. Let's start this bad boy up. Ooh, mama, that is so pretty. Bike's already warmed up. Let's go. So, you know, just his tone, he seemed upset. And I'm not saying that in a passive aggressive way. He really did seem kind of angry. So, you know, it's not just him. Woo-hoo-hoo! A lot of people are in the motovlogging community are vehemently against sport bikes. And I hope that's a word, because I feel really smart if it is. But they're so against sport bikes, it's just crazy, man. I've never seen a FedEx truck that looks like that in my life. Is that even real? But anyway, they just hate them, and they're just awful in every way according to these people, and naked bikes are the end-all be-all, blah 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 blah. I don't disagree that naked bikes do have their place, because they do. They're very comfy. You know, they're still fairly fast. They look cool, man. They, you know, a lot of them sound great. They're much better in tight areas, easy to maneuver. I think they're better for the newer rider. A lot of good things about naked bikes, don't get me wrong. However, my weapon of choice is the Supersport, and specifically the 1000cc Supersport, which is the one everybody hates. So, I think a lot of things in life, a lot of times hate comes from jealousy, and I'm not above it. I've been there before too, you know? I get jealous of someone or something, and I become a hater. And it's a natural sort of reaction, because as men, we're competitive. You know, it's kind of what makes the world go on around. It's sort of the basis of capitalism in a way, which really, I'm a huge supporter of capitalism, right? So, you know, that's just kind of the philosophy of that. I think the leader bike, 1000cc Supersport, one, it's a lot of times the most expensive you can get. It's the fastest. It's the most badass. Okay, now I'm just talking it up, but you know, people see that, and I think maybe they wish that they could have something like that, and they can't because of money, maybe, or the insurance is too much, or you know, their wife won't let them have one, or maybe they're scared of it, which is fine. You know, it's probably a good thing that you don't want to hop on a ridiculous fast machine and kill yourself on it, right? So, I understand all that, don't get me wrong, but I want to go through some of the main reasons why I love Supersports, and, you know, if I could only have one bike, look at that, an H1 Hummer. That's one of my dream cars right there, check that out. I would get one in red or OD green or something, but man, that's beautiful. Very cool. So the first thing is, they are the ultimate racing machine. Nothing compares, man. I mean, nothing. Okay, one, the ergonomics you're in lends for perfect riding, perfect high performance riding. You're tucked forward, it's easy to tuck in like this, you know, you can hang out the bike all you want, move your body around. The clip-on, I love clip-ons, man. They're just so, you get so much finesse. People will argue with naked bikes that you get more leverage, therefore a naked bike is better and easier to ride fast. Not true at all. You don't need leverage when you're going fast. It's already so easy to turn a bike when you're going fast that a lot of leverage can get you into trouble. It's finesse. You can take 2 fingers and steer this bike. I don't need dirt bike bars. It's not, it's any man over 100 pounds can easily turn a sport bike as hard as he wants. The weight is down low. You're ergonomically down low. Your feet are tucked up high so they don't drag the ground. Your pegs don't drag the ground. I think that's just wonderful. You never have, I always say, you've never truly ridden a motorcycle until you've ridden a sport bike at least once in your life. It's like you are part of the bike. The bike, this thing literally contours to my legs to where I feel like I am in the bike. Hardly any wind is hitting my legs. This windshield, believe it or not, it looks small, but most of the air, even in this position, goes right up over my head. I'm leaned forward. I mean, it's just, it's like, it's kind of like throwing a ball overhand versus, let's say, a naked bike is sidearm and a cruiser is underhand. There's just, you know, the underhand is nice and relaxed and good to play with the kids in the pool or something. The sidearm is probably a little better for your elbow, but sometimes, man, you just want to take that freaking thing and wing it. Second thing that I love, look at that beet red sun, but I love about sport bikes is typically there's so much testing that goes into them, so much trial and error on the racetrack, just so much performance, all of that. They're very well proven machines, and there's an emphasis on performance. So much emphasis on performance though, whereas a naked bike, and this is fine, most naked bikes, the emphasis is on the way, I guess, you feel when you ride. You know, it's on the cool factor. A lot of times they'll not cut corners, but they'll go with lower quality components, you know, not as high-end stuff, because people, there's not a big competition to race a Z1000 versus an FC10, for example, or now it's the MT10. But there's a huge competition for, you know, Yamaha wants their R1 to kick the ZX10's ass, and Kawasaki wants their ZX10R to kick the R1's ass. So there's tons of development that goes into that. You know, just every little detail is important on that. And whereas naked bikes are kind of more fun-oriented, more affordable usually, not all of them. That type of thing. You know, more ergonomical to some people. I actually disagree there. So, you know, I don't know. There's just that. The third thing I really like about sport bikes is what most motovloggers point out as being a negative, but I actually think this is a huge positive. They are impractical, and in my experience in life, the more impractical you get, the more fun things are. Usually, I mean, honestly, it's kind of weird, you know? You take a, for instance, let's go American cars. What's more practical? You know, the new Corvette that came out that's mid-engine, what is it, the new Stingray, sorry, or a Chevy Cruze. Well, a Chevy Cruze gets better gas mileage. Most people are not going to be able to drive a mid-engine supercar to its full potential, and definitely not be able to drive it on the street. So you can drive a Chevy Cruze closer to its full potential. It's cheaper to maintain. The insurance is going to be cheaper. The base price is going to be a lot cheaper. You know, it has a lower profile. Cops are probably going to go after it less. You don't got to worry about it getting vandalized or stolen as much. You know, parts will probably honestly last longer. You know, you can probably get more time on a Cruise's motor maybe. It's not as high performance, right? So, but I would still take the Corvette 8 ways to Sunday. I really would. And it's the same with the naked bike, you know. A naked bike is probably more comfortable to ride for a long time, although I'm going to digress here. I actually think a sport bike is more comfortable to ride for a short time because it takes all the wind off you. But after you get past that like 1.5 to 2 hour mark, I'd rather be on a naked bike too. You know, it's probably cheaper to maintain. The base price is probably lower. You can probably use it to more of its full potential, etc., etc., etc. I would still take the sport bike. It just makes me feel happier inside. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a whole different experience. It's really a whole different experience. Ah, that bug just hit me square in the forehead, but luckily I had a helmet on. It still scared me. But I hope you liked the video, guys. I hope you can like and subscribe. Enjoy doing these motor vlogs, even though they don't get the most views. And I'll see you in the next one. Get out there and ride. Peace.